And I know it sounds crazy, but if he were to like turn around and be like, hey, yeah, I'll fight David.
Hell yeah, I'll be dope. I have a lot of respect for Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
And just because I want to fight, if we would fight doesn't mean we have hard feelings for each other. He's definitely a great fighter. I love to fight.
This is a really interesting fight. You know, the best wants to fight the best. So let's continue here with the video talks about, and then I'll weigh in more on what I think will happen, because Terence Crawford is an amazing fighter, as we all know. Let's continue.
David Benavidez was all praise for Terence Crawford and said he has a lot of respect for the welterweight champion. However, there's a catch. David Benavidez wants the welterweight champion to fight him if he wants to fight Canelo at 168.
Saturday is the fight, and he's doing the interviews, and he says that if Terence Crawford wants to fight with Canelo Alvarez.
So is David Benavidez interested in fighting Terence Crawford? David Benavidez might have a lot of respect for Terence Bud Crawford.
This is all fair use. I'm reacting to this Terence Crawford reacts to David Benavidez AI video. Link in the video description below. But I just want to say, Terence Crawford is so much smaller than Benavidez and Canelo. Are these fights going to happen? I think anything is possible in modern boxing, especially under the umbrella now of exhibition. So in the future, that could come down under an exhibition a clause or something like that. But hopefully, if it does happen, it's a legit fight. Not too sure what's going to happen, but anything is possible because money talks, and you know the rest. Let's continue.
But there is no denying that he's frustrated with Crawford pushing for a fight with the undisputed super middleweight champion. Benavidez spoke a lot about Crawford during his latest interview and believes he deserves a shot at Canelo before Crawford, arguing that Crawford needs to earn his opportunity. Canelo.
The AI said Canelo. Had me saying the wrong name. Andrade, I was saying.
That's where the money is. However, he's saying this is my weight class. I deserve the shot.
Benavidez acknowledged Crawford's desire to fight Canelo Alvarez, understanding that it's a significant money fight. Now, Crawford has stated that he wants to fight Canelo and create a legacy for himself. However, Benavidez thinks otherwise. He expressed his opinion.
Okay, well, did he actually say that? Anyway, I'm going to just take the AI's word for it, the video, because who has time to do this all day? I'm not a professional boxing reporter, so I'm just a YouTuber that loves boxing and creating content. So check this out. I think that if this fight were to happen, which honestly, I'm not too sure, but it's possible, the big money name is Canelo. So obviously, if Crawford does want to fight Canelo, that's the fight what is most lucrative. That's the lucrative fight, because even to this day, I walked in right before on Saturday, right into one of my favorite Mexican restaurants. I walk in and I'm like to one of the dudes working there. We speak. I'm like, "Yo, David Benavidez, he's gonna fight this guy Friday night on Andre, but I think he's gonna win." He's looking at me. I like two heads. I'm like, "You know boxing, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Who do you like?" He's like, "Canelo Alvarez." But he doesn't even know who. I don't know. He's just a casual fan, I guess. He didn't know who David Benavidez was. So that's the big money fight. What I'm saying is the most popular, most well-known household name, if you will, in boxing. The way they promoted Canelo over the years and the way they marketed him, Benavidez has a long way to go. So as far as money and being the most lucrative fight, obviously it would be Crawford versus Canelo. David Benavidez, not so much. So I don't think the money is really going to be there anytime soon. It would be a big risk for Crawford, of course, especially Crawford, because he's so much bigger. Let's continue.
That everyone wants.
Benavidez is so much bigger.
To the financial and prestige aspects. However, Benavidez seemed to feel that he deserved his opportunity against Canelo first,
that's what I just said, money.
Given his position as a top contender in the super middleweight division.
Saturday is the fight, and he's doing the interviews, and he says that if Terence Crawford wants to fight with Canelo Alvarez.
Benavidez was not particularly surprised.
A lot of these videos are slickly taken out of context, so I don't know. I'm just reacting to what I'm hearing. A lot of these videos are slickly that they'll take a clip and it will have nothing to do with the topic. It's just a way of getting, people to watch. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what I think. I believe that Crawford is not going to fight Benavidez unless it's some exhibition fight 100 years from now, which is not going to happen because Benavidez is 26, Crawford is 35 now. So there's a huge age thing going on there where if they were both 36, different story exhibition could happen because they're both beyond their years. Whatever Crawford does right now, it has to be done quickly because he's 35 years old going on 36. Maybe he turned 36 already. I have no idea. Google it. You're looking at basically a guy who's hitting middle age, and Canelo is as well soon. He's up there. He's in his 30s now. So what should happen is financially, it's all about financials. It's all about money. Millionaire Moves show, of course. So we're going to look at the most lucrative fight that gets behinds out of the seats, that makes the people that pull the boxing strings behind the scenes, the promoters, the managers, the sanctioning bodies, all the hangers-ons that are making money, everybody, the trainers. I'm not saying they're hangers-on. There's other people in the business that just hang on, literally. Ask Mike Tyson about that. But anyway, these people, it's in their best interest to have the most lucrative fight on the table. And if this fight's going to happen, if Crawford's going to go up in weight, and he's going to do it soon because he's older now, it's got to be versus Canelo. I don't think he's going to settle or take the chance to go in with David Benavidez unless somebody puts a hell of a lot of money up. I don't know who, and I don't even know if that could happen or materialize because honestly, I don't see the numbers there. You know, like I said, I walked into that restaurant, some dude that is familiar with boxing had no idea who David Benavidez is. That's in real life. So, you know, I know people know who Canelo is outside of boxing now. He's vaguely said, like I was one time, somebody was watching some video of a girl vlogger putting on makeup, and she was talking. She mentioned somehow, I was listening to Canelo. She mentioned Canelo, so I would say he transcends boxing a little bit at this point because of the marketing. So, which is really good for boxing, I guess, because boxing is just really, it's really hard these days. We went over that in several other videos with all the different promoters, different networks, and what's happening with the apps. It's not like UFC where they have one title, one belt, which it should be. There's a lot of confusion, and people don't even, honestly, the way new media is and the way apps are, people don't even know who A-list actors are. Some A-list actors are. I don't even have to be called A-list anymore. You're looking at some actor and you're like, who are they? Where are they? Who is that? I don't know. Because they're famous on one show or movies that you just didn't watch because there's so much content coming at us. And then you have the other half of people, like myself, a person that's always on YouTube watching YouTube, or if I have something I'm interested in, I'd watch YouTube rather than legacy media or something like this. So it's really hard nowadays. So the Benavidez, what I'm saying is the Benavidez fight is not lucrative versus Crawford. It'll make a lot of money, but what's a lot of money? It won't make the big money, the multi-millions indefinitely that they would want, you know, secured in a bank with people watching because it's so interesting because of the name Canelo. Let's continue.
Or thrown off by Crawford throwing his hat into the ring to fight Canelo. He sees it as a natural move for any fighter looking to make a big payday and gain significant recognition. However, Benavidez reiterated his belief that he should be the one to fight Canelo first.
Yeah, see, when I hear that, of course Benavidez wants that because he knows there's more money, a nice bigger payday for him than what he's already done in the division outside of Canelo. Of course Benavidez wants the Canelo fight, but he will take, at this point, Crawford, because Crawford is, you know, he's a little more popular nowadays, or maybe a lot after the Errol Spence, but still the money is not going to be there as they would like, and as the teams would like, as the people behind the scenes in boxing would like. Let's continue.
Interestingly, Benavidez expressed openness to fighting Terence Crawford.
Of course.
He mentioned that he has a lot of respect for Crawford as a fighter. Benavidez stated that if a fight between them were to happen, it would not be out of hard feelings, but rather a professional challenge between two great fighters. He acknowledged Crawford's skills and seemed excited about the prospect of such a matchup.
Play the clip.
Benavidez discussed the significant size difference between himself and Crawford, noting that Crawford has been fighting at 147 pounds while he competes at 168 pounds. This size and weight class difference would be a crucial factor in a potential fight, with Benavidez
Size matters. Size, with this type of fight, it does, but some fighters can to go up in weight and perform great. A long time ago, I believe on this channel, I predicted Pacquiao to beat De La Hoya. Now, in hindsight, it looks like, oh, that was an easy prediction, but no, at the time, people thought De La Hoya was going to destroy Manny Pacquiao. Go back in boxing history, look at clips, dig them up online if you don't believe me. It's true. So it was considerably, I think at the time, it was considered an upset. So I was on point about that from what I remember. I believed that Pacquiao was going to win. But I would have to favor, let me just give you my prediction here because this video is going to go on and tease and drag it out. I'm gonna just go and say that I would favor, only because I saw Crawford's an amazing fighter, but given his age, and I saw him wobbled really bad against Gamboa, which was one of my favorite fights of the 2000s or in Crawford's career. If you go back and look at that fight, Terence Crawford was going for it, and at one point he was trading with Gamboa, and I think it was an uppercut or whatever, but he was visibly, his legs locked up. He was visibly hurt, and then I think he later went on to admit he was hurt in that fight. He was wobbled, he was hurt, he was really hurt, and it wasn't like a flash knockdown situation where he didn't look hurt. He was hurt on his feet. And I think that Benavidez, due to the size, the pressure, the weight, even though Crawford could do a spectacular job of keeping Benavidez off of him for a while, I think eventually the 35-year, and at the time they're going to fight, would be 36 years old. They have to make it soon. Maybe 37. A 27-year-old, because at the time Benavidez would turn 27. Because I think in July he turns 27. That's David Benavidez. You've got a 27-year-old versus a 36-year-old if they fight in 2024. And as great as Terence Crawford is, I think it would be a little too much like when Mikey Garcia went up against Errol Spence. But of course it would play out differently because you have two totally different styles. But that being said, I would at this point favor Benavidez to possibly stop Crawford, or the corner would stop it late, because it would be too much. He's too big. His punching power is too great. But that being said, if he shows up Crawford like he did with Errol Spence, he could definitely do a number on Benavidez by utilizing his legs in the sweet science, switching his stances, confusing him, fighting the perfect fight for 12 rounds and getting a decision win. That would be very hard to do at 36 years old, in my opinion. If you go back in boxing history, you look at the lighter fighters and lighter divisions under heavyweight, how they performed at 36 years old, champions, very hard. B-Hop's done it. Floyd Mayweather looked pretty good. But the weight and size, I would have to just give the edge. I'm not saying indefinitely would be like, oh, Benavidez is going to wipe him out. But I would just have to give him the edge based on all of the numbers, the size, and the age, all that stuff included. I would have to do. But if it was a 26-year-old Crawford, I would say we'd outbox Benavidez. He would do it. But I just think he's a little too old. And as far as Canelo, that would be for another video. We talked about it already with Crawford. So Crawford versus Canelo. With Benavidez, that's going to be a whole nice fight breakdown. That's going to be fun. I still think that fight needs to be made, and I don't think Canelo's ducking Benavidez, as I read recently on like Fight News. David Benavidez, Canelo's not afraid of him. This is crazy. This is like Canelo has seen it all. He's a professional fighter. There's no fear in that guy. The only fear would be, damn, I'm gonna lose a couple $1 million more if I lose the fight. I think he'd fear losing the money and the fear of his legacy more than actually losing or being afraid of another boxer. Is just I don't see that. But Canelo versus Benavidez on paper is a really exciting fight. Another fight that has to be done in 2024, I think, because Canelo's getting up there, and eventually age will catch up with him in all those fights. All those years. He's got a lot of fights under his belt. And Benavidez would be fresher, arguably, going into this fight with Canelo if they fight. All right, another video, and it's a wrap. I'm out.